Then we'll get into probably the two heaviest questions of this Q&A here, and this is one of my favorite questions I get asked all the time. How do you address critics who say you're irresponsibly polluting the environment with fertilizer and killing off precious animals with herbicides and insecticides? Here's really what it comes down to. These are a couple of statistics that I've heard from various places. One, a well manicured lawn is going to produce the same amount of oxygen and consume the same amount of CO2 as two mature maple trees. A home lawn that's well manicured is going to produce enough oxygen for a family of 4. So when you take that into consideration, that's a lot of carbon being extracted from the environment. Carbon, which is our greenhouse issue right now that's at least being portrayed in the news, is everybody's worried about carbon dioxide. So carbon's the hot word there. What's your carbon footprint? And having a manicured lawn is, are you going to have a carbon footprint? Probably. But I think it's going to be pretty close to moot if you had a lawn that you did nothing with, not even mowed, because of a vigorously growing, healthy stand of turf grass is going to be an active, living, breathing ecosystem that takes place. It's going to be different than just a bushy jungle of a front yard, but it is going to have active life in it. Between populations of soil microbes, earthworms, grub worms, not bagging your clippings, letting them recycle back into the ground and decompose. You're putting all that rich organic matter back into the ground. And ultimately that's going to convert to carbon to create a healthier stand of soil that can pull more carbon out of the air to convert into oxygen for us, which is ultimately minimizing the greenhouse effect. And if it's actively growing, vigorously growing, very healthy turf, it's going to be running at top performance. And so it's going to be pulling incredible amounts of CO2 out of the air to produce food for the root system and oxygen. So, that's for the fertilization aspect of it. And of course, misapplication can be a potential issue as far as polluting the groundwater. But as long as it's applied correctly, fertilizer, you're going to have very little issue with runoff. So being safe with what you're doing, following your labels, you don't have to worry about, you do have to worry about it, but you can feel better about your applications that you're not contributing to the pollution part of it, the nitrate levels in our drinking water. And as far as the herbicide and insecticide issue, here's the deal. As long as you are staying within your label's recommendations, you're staying at an incredibly, I don't want to use the word safe, but you're going to be in a use rate of a material that has been thoroughly tested. And most of the products out there on the market are derivatives of one another. So it's not like there's any just true new herbicide technology is being pumped out on us right now. It's all very similarly structured, whether it's an auxin class of herbicides, they're all going to act the same way. It's like maybe some of the newer sulfonylureas that are used in warm season markets. They're not exactly new chemicals. They're new for use as an herbicide, but sulfonylureas are not new in general. They've been used in medicine for years. So we're not exactly recreating the wheel here with lawn care chemicals. We're just kind of beating a different dent into the wheel and rolling with it. In the years that I've been doing this, I've never had an issue with an animal. I've never had an issue as far as physical health. And again, it comes down to using your brain and following your label. When you're going to be hand spraying things, wear PPE, your personal protective equipment, your gloves, whatever it states on the mask. If you're running 64 ounces to the acre of 2,4-D or a three-way product, and you're going to be spraying it out of your skid sprayer, you got to wear gloves, you got to wear your water-resistant boots, you got to wear long sleeves, you got to wear long pants. You don't have to wear a respirator. You should probably wear glasses. You should probably wear sunglasses just for the sheer amount of UV exposure that you're going to be out there. I mean, working outside isn't exactly easy on your body to begin with. So, protect your eyes, not just from the material you're spraying, but from the environment itself. So, again, all the products that we're going to be applying, especially on residential lawns, they're rigorously tested by the EPA. And, we don't have access to things anymore like, DDT, which even the potential harm there was, a little bit debated. I think it harmed the birds more than it did humans. And then, there's also, the Dursban, diazinon, type products that showed potential to harm humans is just it's not common anymore. And every time this kind of comes up, like I know the neonicotinoids with crops has been brought up. The whole reason that whole thing got started was it was a lawn care operator in, I want to say, Oregon, was spraying a parking lot with trees in full bloom, of course loaded with bees, and sprayed the trees with imidacloprid. And when that office complex let out for the day, they had a parking lot just full of dead bees. And so that's what started the whole thing. It was improper use by us, the operator, that contributed to the pollution factor. So, when critics talk about how we're destroying the environment and whatnot, you have to remind them, no, I'm not destroying the environment. I'm doing exactly what the label tells me to do, and this label is going to tell me the safest way to apply this product. And when applied in this manner, I'm posing very little threat to the environment or to animals in lieu of this label. So that's really about it. There's not much else I can say about it. As long as you're following the label, you're not causing harm to the environment or to animals on the scale that people are going to lead you to believe you are. And then the final question, and I think this one is